like this lighting. Look. I got one of these things. Anyways, somebody recently requested that I make more of the watch list videos. So that's what we're doing. With 2022, I've decided that I no longer rate things. I'm done writing. I just put that I watched it, and I write a comment about whether or not I liked it, and that's the end. No rating. I don't fucking care. Yeah, I'll tell you if something's good or not. So, the first movie that I watched was Prozac Nation from 2001. I love Christina Ricci. Ricci, I think that's how you say her name. I fucking love her. I think she's a great actress. And then also I read the book after I watched it, and I liked it. I know that it's kind of like it's a Tumblr movie. It is. It's from 2001 and it's about depression and shit. And you do wonder if she has BPD multiple different times. In the book, it's actually brought up that she thinks that she herself has BPD, but she doesn't ever get diagnosed with it. Yeah, I recommend watching it. It's good. The next movie that I watched was The Virgin Suicides from 1999. I actually liked Prozac Nation more than I liked The Virgin Suicides. That is a very controversial statement. I watched both movies and I read both books, and Prozac Nation better than The Virgin Suicides. The cinematography was good, but I understand that the story is from the neighborhood boys' point of view because they're talking about the way that it's about how women aren't actual people and how they're just viewed as objects, so it's taken from their perspective. But I would much rather have actually had the Lisbon sisters' own perspectives than other people talking about them. Personal opinion, I don't know. I would have liked it more. I'm sorry. Next we have Memories of Murder, which it was a true crime documentary that I watched because I was bored. That's literally all that it was. I think it was about a guy, yeah, it was a serial killer narrating his life on tapes. It was fine. It wasn't my favorite, but it was entertaining. Next, I did actually rate this one. I watched Requiem for a Dream, which was a movie that I had never seen, which is one of those movies that, like, I feel like everybody has seen, so I wanted to watch it so that I could be part of the cool club. Yeah, I watched it, and it probably one of the scariest movies that I've ever seen, and I've seen fucking almost everything, and it's one of the scariest movies that I've ever seen. So, yeah. I recently found out that people don't like this movie because they were talking about the ending of Euphoria and how Euphoria turned into Requiem for a Dream, and not in a good way. And then I found out that people hate the movie because it, like, uses drugs as a horror tactic. Like, drugs aren't scary. It didn't make any fucking sense to me. If you have a logical reason why Requiem for a Dream is problematic, it glorifies the use of drugs. No, fucking doesn't. It does not. The ending of the movie is horrifying. Anyways, I was baffled by Twitter. Anyways, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new one came out. I watched it. I did. The only good part of it was Elsie Fisher. That's all I really cared about. They were the whole reason that I watched the movie. Didn't really care about anything else, I'll be completely honest. I wasn't a big fan. It's a Netflix remake of a slasher. I wasn't expecting much, but I was still disappointed. Anywho, that reminded me that I hadn't seen the new Scream yet, so I watched the new Scream, and I actually really liked it. I like it when, spoiler alert for Scream, I like it when Ghostface is a girl. I don't know why. I feel like the most memorable Ghostface performances for me, other than like the first film, are pretty much all female. So I think that they're better. I'm sorry. I think that they do a better job. Next movie that I watched is I finally watched Teeth from 2007. I had never seen this movie. It's about a girl who has teeth in her vagina and they bite off dicks. It was entertaining. It was entertaining. I was not expecting, I didn't like read like a synopsis or anything. I just immediately watched it because I think it was on Tubi. I was not expecting the beginning to be as religious as it was. There's sexual assault in the movie, by the way, trigger warning. But yeah, it was a good movie. I liked it. Put it in the same category as May and all that shit. Shit as a compliment. I enjoy those movies, the angry women movies. I do. I find them entertaining. Anyways, next I watched Malevolent from 2018. It's a Netflix ghost movie. I only watched it because I always say her name wrong. Florence Pugh, Florence Puh. I don't fucking know. The girl from Midsummer. She was in it. It wasn't very good, but I don't really like ghosts though. So like I can't be the judge of what makes a ghost movie good because I don't like ghosts. I'm not really that scared of them. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it necessarily, but like if you're bored, you can watch it, I guess. It's not that great. Next I watched Eraserhead from 1977, which was actually my first Lynch. I had seen a couple episodes of Twin Peaks, but other than that, and I had tried to sit down and watch Eraserhead so many fucking times, but this was the only time that I genuinely I sat down and I made myself watch the whole thing. Because afterwards, I watched Inland Empire from 2006, which I was very curious about. Both Eraserhead. Eraserhead's only 90 minutes, so it is very tolerable. It moves quite slow, but it's very like grotesque, so you're staying interested. Inland Empire is the most like insane 3 hours that I've ever sat through. I got my threes confused. I was thinking 30 minutes instead of 3 hours. Ignore me. The most insane 3 hours that I've ever sat through. I usually refuse to watch movies that are longer than 2.5 hours. And Inland Empire, I split it. I did 90 minutes one day and then 90 minutes the next day. It was really fucking good though. I watched it for Laura Dern because I found out that she was in, like I saw the trailer and I was like, is that fucking Laura Dern? And I was very interested, so I watched it. It was pretty good. I would recommend it. It's on YouTube. Eraserhead's really good too. It's definitely confusing. They're both confusing, but they're really good. Next, I watched Cannibal Holocaust. I had been putting off this movie for a really long time. I'd done my trip down the tamer tiers of the disturbing movie iceberg, but I always skipped Cannibal Holocaust just because I didn't like the fact that it had real animal cruelty in it. I wasn't into that, but I did end up watching it because they used the they used the theme song as the end of a Euphoria episode. They used like the Cannibal Holocaust theme, and I was just kind of like, okay, that's fucking weird. And I wanted to understand what the fuck Sam Levinson was going on about, so I did watch Cannibal Holocaust. It was one of those things where I probably would have taken any excuse to watch it. And it was actually better than I thought it'd be. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, especially because they really make a point of the Americans suck. The American students are asses. They're like the worst people ever. So when they get fucked up by the cannibals, you're just kind of like, yeah, it'd be like that. Yeah. The whole movie though is about like shock value for the sake. It's the same fucking thing that Serbian film tried to do, where it was making a point on shock value and how we put all this bad stuff in movies and in the news, but in return, like it did the same thing that it was critiquing. But it was entertaining. Next, I watched Angst from 1983. No, I had Angst in Possession confused for the longest fucking time. Don't ask me why. So yeah, I finally watched Angst, which is a German movie, and it is based on a real serial killer who kills his family. And the actor who plays the serial killer, the movie's from the 80s and it's German, so I'm not really familiar with any of the actors in it. But the guy who plays the serial killer is fucking phenomenal. He's great. Like, easily, like, the best part of the movie is his performance. And also, like, the directing is really well done, and the music is really well done. It's just kind of, it's really fucking genius for what it is. It's literally just like a home invasion slasher, but for some reason it's like amazing. It's because there's little elements of like acting, and it's fucking phenomenal. I'll be completely honest. That was what I watched for February. Yeah, of February of 2022. If you have any recommendations, comment them please. I hope you have a nice day, and goodbye.